Alrighty. We have about a minute to go until quali starts. We see we only have 5 drivers so far, although there's more in the server. On board with Hayes, our championship leader. As first quality session is about to start. So our qualifying will be dry, our sprint will be 40% rain, that's 10 laps, 40% rain, and our race will be fully dry. And Hayes is, I believe, the first out of the pits, yes. He's one of the first. And attention. Hayes, first sector was flying lap at 15.8. He caught free practice with a 110. Next fastest was motion at 111 and PCWY with 119.4. Outlap, we've got 7 drivers so far. And Mr. Man beats Hayes sector 1 with 15.8. 15.818, so very close. Hayes now rounding the final corner, going up the hill, fully on power down the main straight to put in his first flying lap, and it's been all valid. Hayes starts us off with a 111.2. Pasco puts in a 113.0. Behind him, Mr. Man has bailed out of his lap and is starting another one. Reflex is invalidated and restarting another lap as well. Pasco is starting a flyer and Brenner Rapp, a new driver. Brenner Rapp and Pedro are both starting flyers now. And forward with the McLaren driver Pasco, who got his best result of Q4 last round. Let me go ahead and fact check myself here. Australia Grand Prix, Pasco got a P5. Unqualified. Good race. Pasco puts in a 112.2, so it's still a second off of Hayes, but he's currently good enough for P2 in this shorter quality session. We now have 8 drivers. HDWI has come back after a retirement from Formula Apex. And Reflex with a 110.8 puts it on provisional pole. Brenneref had 2 good sectors and invalidated his third. Nobody is on a flyer now. It looks like Mr. Man with a no improvement in the sector 1, but he's on a lap now. Reflex did the fastest sector 3 in his effort. And Hayes with the fastest sector 1. Mr. Man invalidates his lap. Let's go back on board with Hayes now as he tries to beat Reflex's lap. So far, a best sector 1 and a tidy looking sector 2 to put in a best sector 2. He only has a few corners left, a difficult one. Cuts it there, but I don't think that'll give him the validation. Looked a little bit hesitant in the turn in, but it'll still probably be a good lap. If he cut it or not. Too much. And he did cut it too much. That's a 28.7 sector 3 for Hayes, and that's invalid after 2 best sectors. Reflex on an outlap. Pasco gets jumped by Norson, who does a 111, and by HDWI with a 112.1, just a tenth ahead of Pasco. And Pasco is on a no improvement sector 1. Reflex also on a no improvement sector 1. And we know that he can sometimes pull things out of thin air. And he's backed out of this lap. He's now starting another lap. No improvement in the sector 1 for him. 3 minutes to go in our session. Reflex still on top. Pasco needs to get a lap in to try and get ahead of HDWI and try and get to Norson, and he does. That's 11.7, but he instantly gets jumped by Gabriel. And he's back to P5. Gabriel does an 11.5. Only driver in the 10 so far is Reflex, but Rivals is just joined. He's got 9 drivers in the grid now. Hayes will be starting a flyer now. And maybe be able to get this lap in another game. But that's it. Reflex invalidates the sector 1. Norson is about to complete a flying lap. I think. No, he's about to start. Brenneref on a personal best sector 1. Rivals just trying to get around the track as he has come late to qualifying. HDWI with the fastest sector 1. He's in 6th, the 15.6, and he's going wide, unfortunately, in the entry to sector 2. Rivals has gotten a 15.9 sector 1. He's well off the pace so far in this lap. Reflex, personal best sector 1. Norson, personal best sector 1. Hayes, no improvement in the sector 1. Only a minute left. HDWYs, he's going down the straight. Reflex is invalidated to sector 2. HDWY, no improvement in his sector 2. What can he do? He jumps Pasco for 5th place. Pasco now down to 6th. Mr. Man jumps Bren for 7th to 112.0. Rivals will not get a flyer in. He is in 9th. Reflex crosses the line. He's safe. Hayes will cross the line in time as well. Hayes crosses the line in time. Brenner Raff will not cross the line in time if he's trying to get a flyer in. This will have to put that. Reflex is on no improvements in the sector 1 and 2. He's kept it valid, and I think he's cut that final frame now. Hayes trying to get pole. He's got a 15.6 sector 1, good. 26.5, also pretty good sector 2. And Hayes takes pole. And 7+8 is also doing our pole session. We will be starting at the back. Hayes takes pole with a 110.7 with a personal best sector 3. Yes, it's just the sprint. Okay. Hayes lands up P1, Reflex P2, Norson P3, Gabriel P4, HWY is getting to his group spot. P5, Pascal P6, Mr. Man. And the 5 red lights are up. And it is lights out and away we go. And Hayes gets off to a good start. Reflex seems to have been jumped by somebody. I'm going to wait for the leaderboard update. I can't really see that very well. Is it the Alfa Romeo? Yes, that is the Alfa Romeo of Mr. Man, who is now challenging Hayes. And Reflex got a very poor start. By the leaderboard, he's P5. Rivals, of course, at the back of the pack in P10, but he should be able to make up a few places. Hayes and Mr. Man, it's very close between them as Mr. Man takes the wider line, but Hayes will be in front. They power down the main straight. Hayes fastest sector 3, Mr. Man fastest lap. Hayes invalidated his sector 2. Mr. Man only 3/10 back, but he's very close to Hayes. Brent has taken P3. And Reflex falls down now to P5. As that AlphaTauri wiggles all over the road. Reflex has been jumped by his Ferrari teammate 7+8. And Rivals is catching the back of the pack. Rivals has passed a Mercedes. Who's in Mercedes again? I forget. Norson. He has passed the Mercedes of Norson. Hayes still maintaining P1. 3/10 though. 3/10. Hayes does the fastest lap. Reflex is back up to P3. He's made up a few spots, but he's still 1.3 seconds off of the lead there. Mr. Man's fallen back just a little bit this lap. And Rivals, as some more position changes go on, Rivals is very much catching the pack of cars fighting for P6. That's Gabriel, HDWY, and Pasco. And he's past Pasco. HDWY runs wide. Pasco runs wide. He hits the wall. He loses his front wing. Rivals has gotten past 2. Now he's going for Gabriel. And he swings around the inside. He's past Gabriel as well now. Into P6. Very good race so far for the Haas team. As they always seem to go on top. Obviously last year's Constructors Champion. He's challenging 7+8 now. Rivals might make up 4 places in 1 lap. And Rivals is up to P5. And does the fastest lap, 1:14.037. With a Sector 2 that was very much faster than the competition. And Rivals hits the wall and he loses his front wing. And he gets repassed by the Mercedes and the Ferrari. That would be 7+8 and somebody else. I'm sorry, I'm still not clear on the teams. It's only round 2. Give me a break. Reflex is now down to P4. Reflex is now down to P4, fighting with the AlphaTauri of 7+8. Hayes still maintains his lead, but it's close. He's going to lap 4. Reflex back up to P3 down the straight. He got better traction. And Hayes, he seems to have gone a little bit slower because the gap to Reflex is now only a little bit over a second. Back up to 1.2. 7+8 gets a slowdown, I believe. And Reflex is now right on the back of Mr. Man. Rivals up to P4, even without a front wing, as the AlphaTauri slides on the gravel, nearly bends it into the wall. And Rivals without a front wing does the fastest Sector 2. The Alfa Romeo, they're getting a slowdown. And that is Mr. Man, I think, that got a slowdown. So Reflex now into P2. Rivals getting a slowdown as well. It's been up and down for Rivals. Up to P4 now that the slowdown getting repassed. Down to P7. And all of this chaos has been very good for Hayes, who now has a little bit of breathing room. 1.3 seconds. And Hayes now has taken pole in Australia. He's taken P1 in the Australian Grand Prix. He took the fastest lap in the Australian Grand Prix. He's taken pole in Japan, and it looks like he's about to add, in 4 laps time, P1 in the sprint as well. As the gap's now 1.7 to Reflex, 4.6 to third place, which is 7+8. Runner ref looking like he's lining up Mr. Man for an overtake. Hayes crosses the line for lap 7. Norson running in 10th. 21 seconds off. Pasco in 9th, 12 seconds off. Pasco's close to Gabriel. Gabriel's close to HPWY. Rivals hits the wall again. Not been able to have a very clean race so far. Gabriel looks like he's lining up HCWY now as well. Pasco lurking behind to pick up the pieces. Hayes nearly has a 2-second gap. A reflex. He's going with reflex now. You can see Hayes on every straight, go around every corner, trying to chase him down, but the gap is around staying the same. Something has happened to 7 plus 8. Had some kind of an incident I've not seen, but he's down to P6 from P3, I think it was. Gabriel still staring at the back end of the Williams, or the Williams, but has not been able to make the move yet. As Morrison slides around the corner. Hayes now still extending the gap up to 2 seconds. Rivals overtakes Bren for P4. And it's the second to last lap. Hayes crosses the line. Lap 9 of 10. Reflex now 2.1 seconds behind him. Rivals back down. Something has happened. Back down to P6. And 7 plus 8 with the slowdown lets Rivals back by for P5. That's 7 plus 8 now. That was. What was that? That was Bren? Yeah, that was Bren. Gap now 2.4. As Reflex has an Alfa Romeo very close behind him because he has made some kind of mistake. The gap is 6 seconds to Hayes, and he's under pressure from behind by Mr. Man. And it's the final lap. Hayes has led the whole way through and he's controlled the race beautifully. He now has a 6-second gap behind him. Because all he has to do is take it easy now. Finish the race, claim a P1. And the Reflex has still managed to keep Mr. Man behind him. Rivals has managed to stay in P4 with no further incidents so far. And Hayes has a little wiggle on the exit there, but he's got around the corner safely. He's onto the straight now. And Hayes crosses the line and Hayes wins the Japanese sprint. Reflex now, P2. Mr. Man, something happened to Mr. Man in the final lap and he got passed by Rivals. Rivals takes P3, Mr. Man P4, Bren P5, Gabriel P6. Pasco now crosses the line for P7, HWY P8, 7 plus 8 P9, and finally Norson for P10. A great defense from Hayes as he continues his streak. He won in every session so far. Alright, one sec, guys. I'm just sorting out. Few things. Okay. Yeah, there's still drivers coming out of pits. Stewie will join at the back. Alright, the drone kill will be underway shortly. Please. And the 5 red lights are up. And it's lights out and away we go. Hayes does not get a great start. But he stays in the lead for now. Both Rifles and Reflex a little faster off the line. And Mr. Man takes the lead, gets the better line. We have a Ferrari very wide in the background. Mr. Man with a beautiful sector 1. Somebody hits the wall already. I didn't see who that was. Mr. Man stays ahead of Hayes. Hayes stays ahead of Reflex. And where is Rivals in all of this? Rivals is P2. Oh, I was wrong. Hayes is all the way down to P7. He must have been the one that hit the wall. And it's Mr. Man in P1 and Rivals in P2. And Rivals sweeps around the outside. Will he take P1? Hard to see. Mr. Man is lagging quite a lot. Brenner ref, fastest lap, and Rivals takes P1. Mr. Man only 2/10 behind. 7 plus 8. Did you not line up 7 plus 8? I didn't. I thought you were on the grid. Seven plus 8 is a DNS for the race. And Brent takes P1. He's got the fastest sector 2. The new Ferrari driver is taking P1 in the race. Hayes is down in P7. Brent is taking P1, and he's got a 6/10 gap to Mr. Man. Reflex is ahead of Hayes crucially for his championship. He's staying in P4, and I need to enable DRS. DRS should be enabled now. And that is an unfortunate DNS for 7 plus 8. Brenner maintaining his gap, but he's under pressure from Rivals. Rivals getting closer as Hayes does the fastest sector 1. And Mr. Man is within DRS range, and Reflex within DRS range of Mr. Man. He can stay there, he can stay in close to that fight. And Brenner he goes into the gravel. Rivals will take that position. Brenner manages to collect it. And there is a big fight for P3 here as Reflex now seems to have dropped down. Gabriel and HCWY are all fighting for P3. And as we cross the DRS zone, all of the rear wings are opening now, as there's a big train. Brannerath is close, but he's not close enough to take the position yet. He's getting closer though. He's got a little more momentum there in that first turn. And he does the fastest sector 1. He is bearing down on Rivals, using all of the road that he can. And Rivals is on hards. Brannerath is on soft. Let's look at our strategies here. 34 laps, not a particularly long circuit. Rivals is P1 right now with the hards, which he'll be very happy about. Got good pace even with these tires. And Brannerath behind him on the soft, even with the DRS. Still not managed to retake that position. Reflex is closing up as he has re-gotten P3. Brannerath does the fastest lap again, 1:11.7. And the soft give him that lovely turn in there. Able to get a lot more out of those players. And he retakes the lead. Brannerath. Back to strategy. Reflex is also on the hards, like Rivals. Gabriel has chosen these softs, and he's fighting with Reflex right now. HDWI has chosen the mediums. Hayes is on the hards. Mr. Man is on the mediums. Pasco is on the softs. As Pasco takes the position from Mr. Man there. Pasco's got a lot of cars close to him that he can look to exploit his softs on, but he goes deep, unfortunately. He gets the position back. Stewie is on the hards. Managed to just sneak in and get signed right before the race. Stewie is 18 seconds off the lead now. Norson is 37 seconds off the lead. I'm not sure what's happened to him exactly, but he has chosen the hards. Rivals retakes the lead. Brannerath's tires are going to be starting to get a little bit more uncomfortable for him now. And it seems Rivals is able to keep pace with him, even on the hard tires. And Reflex is very close. He's within 2/10 of the having DRS on both of them, and we're back to the Rivals versus Reflex battle that we had all throughout PL21. Not all throughout PL21. We had a few iconic Reflex versus Rivals battles in PL21. You know who else is close here? Mr. Man is trying to take that T3 from Reflex. As Breno again just can't seem to have quite the pace to get past Rivals. Rivals opening up the gap now. It's half a second as Mr. Man is using his tire advantage to pull himself past Reflex closer to Brannerath. As Brannerath's tires get worse, he's now going to fall out of DRS to Rivals, which is going to leave him very susceptible to the better tires of Reflex and Mr. Man behind his Reflex, trying to take the position down the straight. As they cross the DRS zone, all of them will open the rear wing. And the Ferrari drivers are fighting for P2, and Reflex takes P2 for now. Mr. Man still behind Brenneraf. Brenneraf with his still slightly more grippy tires retakes it into the sector 1. But it looks like Reflex is in front again, and Mr. Man's trying to push his way past too. Again, all of this working in the favor of Rivals, who now has a 1.5 second gap. And they'll be out of DRS the next time they come down the straight. And it's a tense battle for P2. Gabriel on the softs, getting to lap 8, will be starting to feel a wear on them. He is in a rather distant P5. And Pasco has retired the car. First retirement of the day. And Pasco, it looks like, is stuck in the pits. Although I can't see what is going on. He says he is stuck in the pits, which is very interesting. Let me walk real quick and see if I can see that. Yes, there is that McLaren car there. Whom's he pitted onto hard? And it has not let him. Oh wow. His car is doing many wild things, and it is glitching through the floor. As Reflex takes the lead, missing this, looking at the McLaren battle. Let's go back to the front. I assume Rivals must have gotten a slowdown. Reflex, our reigning world champion, on lap 10 retakes the lead from Rivals. Rivals is still going, no damage it looks like, so it must have been a slowdown. As the rear wing does not open for Rivals, he's not close enough on Reflex to get that. And it's really only the two of them on the same strategy, both on hards, out front now. As Mr. Man has fallen back, him and Gabriel are fighting for that final podium spot. As Gabriel gets past, and Hayes is kind of lurking behind. He's on the hard tires. Seems to be the preferred strategy. So that he's able to stay with them is very good for him. He can get that DRS and get pulled along by them as Gabriel spins, dips a tire into the gravel. He spins, he manages to not go into the barrier, but he gives P3 to Mr. Man. And Hayes is very close on the back of Mr. Man. Hayes will get DRS, and Mr. Man is on the medium, Hayes is on the hards, and the hards will start to be better now as Rivals gets back past Reflex. The gap is 2/10 between them. Hayes still closing in on Mr. Man. And Gabriel is in the pits. Gabriel's decided to pit. He did start on the soft. He's now moved to the hards after doing 12 laps on the hards, or on the softs, sorry, which is not a bad stint at all. Means he only has to do 22 on these hards, so he may come into play later in the race. He can have a good stint here as the Red Bull of Stewie hits the wall, loses that front wing, and he is all over the road. And in the background, Stewie hits the wall, has a very unstable car, tries to collect it, and spins slightly. He does not have terminal damage, so Pasco's still our only retirement. Reflex's gap is now a full second, 1.2 behind Rivals. Hayes definitively is taking P3 now. The gap behind him is 14 seconds. And it looks like Brenner Raff is going for a 2-stop as he's on the mediums. It'll be soft, medium, soft, I assume. HDWY is 6 seconds behind him, and the gaps have widened out quite a good bit. Mr. Man on those softs, though, will be looking to chase down HDWY. I don't remember what Mr. Man started on. I don't know if these are new softs or not. But he was closer to the front, so I do think he pitted. And he's going for probably a 2-stop as well. So he still is not pitted to fix his front wing. His only threat is Norson, who's 5 seconds back. And the gap from Rivals to Reflex is now 4.8 seconds. And Hayes looks like he is... I'm gonna say Hayes looks like he's getting close to Reflex, but then the gap jumps right back to 10, and that's a 5-second gap between them. From Hayes' POV, you can just barely see Reflex at the end of the straight. And by the time he comes down the hill for corner 1, Reflex is long gone. Rivals is now getting closer to starting to counter some lap traffic as Stewie and Norson are both over 50 seconds behind the lead. With a relatively short lap here. at our times where we're at Brenner Wrap so far has been the fastest time with a 1:11.7 instead of about soft. Rivals is invalidated with a 6:01 this lap. His second best time with a 1:11.9. Gabriel invalidated sector 2 this lap. And he's third fastest with a 1:12.3. Mr. Mann with an invalidation this lap, and Morrison also with an invalidation this lap. And what has happened with Hayes? Hayes is in the wall! Hayes is out! And his run of topping every session will end with a DNF. And we didn't see how it happened, but he must have gone a little too hard on that corner, lost control of it. He is our second retirement of the race, and that is not going to be fun for him as Norson just kisses the wall a little bit there. Hayes, with the DNF so early in the season, will likely re-give the lead to Reflex, and that is going to be very detrimental to his championship. It is, of course, only 2 races into the season. He's got plenty of time to make that back up. But Reflex is not a very mistake-prone driver, and it's going to be difficult to claw back an entire missed Grand Prix. Captain Rivals to Reflex. 2.3, it's come down a little bit. Both of them now 20 plus seconds in front of P3, which is Brenner Wrap, and Mr. Ned's getting close to Brenner Wrap now. 4 seconds to gap, make that 3. Everybody else has pretty healthy gaps between them, as the race is very much opened up. There are 8 drivers still running. At 18:34. Champion. Trying to chase down the driver. Let's look at our lap times. Rival's last lap was a 1:16.3. Reflex's last lap was a 1:13.3, which explains why the gap has come down. Rival's has been clean this lap, as has Reflex. Mr. Mann's invalidated sector 2. And both Rivals and Reflex crossed the line. Reflex did a 1:13.1, Rivals did a 1:13.1 as well. EWI invalidates the sector 2. Nelson invalidates the sector 2. And we're getting word now that his DNF was caused by a controller disconnect, which is one of the more common ways for a DNF to happen, and it's very unfortunate. Only 2 of the audience. That's insane. swear there was more earlier. Hello, Reflex and HPWR. You guys are the only one listening to me yet. Means you're the only one benefiting from me telling you what people around you are doing times away. Reflex now up to 2.4. Granted, Mr. Man are getting close. Never mind, Mr. Man just got a slowdown. Brandon saying strong in P3. Mr. Man on the soft right now. I think both of them are on 2 stops. And Brandon dips a tire into the gravel. He did earlier in the race as well, and it's done for, but this time he managed to keep it on track. HDWI has a 4-second gap. And then he's got Gabriel. Now Gabriel is on the hards. I do believe Gabriel's been on the hards all over. And HDWY gets past Mr. Man. Something has happened to Mr. Man as well, and it looks like he will be another retirement. He's gone. I don't know where he's gone. Seems to have disconnected, and Gabriel has gotten a slowdown. We'll give HCWI a little more breathing room, and Norson is getting close to being lapped. We've got 3 retirements now. Remember, if we get a 4th, that will be a red flag. Norson cuts the skin slightly, that'll be in calibration. And Rivals is getting close. Rivals and Reflex are getting close to lapping Norson. The question is, when is Rivals or Reflex coming into the pits? Now they both started on the hards. They're on lap 22, so they're 22 lap hard. Rivals last lap for 113.2, Reflex is 113.8, so they're still on 13. Faster really than everybody except what Mr. Man was doing before he retired. Pasco, so despite being on old parts, they are also currently the fastest. Rifles does a 112.9. Reflex 13.7. That gap is extending to Reflex 4. And Norson is fighting Stewie. Stewie still has not pitted for a front wing. Norson is getting very close to him. The other person that's getting close to them is Rivals, as they're starting to come into sight for him. And they're starting both. Reflex and Rivals are starting to get into the pit window. It's lap 23 of 34, and Rivals is coming into the pits. And he smacks the wall a little bit on the way in. Reflex is fast as 62. Oh, Reflex is pitted. I completely missed that. Reflex is pitted. He's on the soft now. Rivals pits to respawn, and Rivals is gone for the mediums. So 10 laps to go. As Rivals crosses the line. Rivals is on the mediums and Reflex is on the soft. Reflex, it looks like he's gotten a slowdown. He's putting in a raise now for Rivals. So I doubt he'll be able to do too much to chase him down in that remaining time. Unless Rivals gets a slowdown himself. The gap is coming down. Gap now 7.8. And Reflex is chasing down Brenneraf. Brenneraf is still on mediums. He's still on those mediums, I think. Around like that. I was past 53. Now Reflex is back. And Stewie is pitted. He's pitted and he's 10 seconds behind the leaders by the lap down. And Reflex has gotten past his teammate Brenneref. Obviously Reflex on those faster tires and he does the fastest sector 2 as well. Like 7.5 for Rivals. WI on soft, Norson on hard. I think Norson's open. And Norson dips 2 wheels into the gravel. Keeps it on track though. Stewie, the lap car, may get DRS off of E3 Brenneref. And the gaps come down a little bit more. Reflex down the gap to 8.4. 8 laps to go. Rivals does fast to sector 3. And that's 1:11.751 from Rivals. Still is not able to beat Brenneraf's fastest time from the beginning of the race. Brenneraf's fastest time was 1:11.743. Rivals is a 1:11.751. His Rivals was a personal best sector 1. Reflex is now pushing a lap that is 1:12.041. And that's good enough for P3 in the fastest lap. Mr. Man unfortunately had to retire from the race because he was needed in real life. Yeah. back to 9 seconds in the reflex, and he just not look like he's able to chase rivals down. Brenner falling a full 21 seconds behind rivals. Rivals has not been able to beat Rennerap's time yet. Gabriel invalidates Sector 3, Mr. Man. Oh, this one was on the race mode. We have 7 drivers. HDWY is lining up Norson. HDWY is on soft. Norson is on hard. He's been on for a while. I'm not sure of the age of HDWY soft. They're fighting for that P5 spot. And HDWY's got the run. He's got the momentum, he's got the grip. Brakes a little bit earlier than Norson. Norson manages to keep it on track, but also he does not have the traction out of the corner that HDWY does. And HDWY, I believe, will take the position. Outbrakes him through the final few corners. And will power down the main straight. Norson may get DRS to try and send anything back. He does get DRS. HDWY takes the position. Norson's close though. Norson has a look on the inside. And Norson's very wide. He's not able to keep it on track with those tires. HDWY has the spot. Stewie running a relatively lonely race. 4 laps to go. That's 9.3 trucks for rivals. Rivals another personal best sector 1. Brenner went very, very slow on those old mediums, but he's got enough of a gap behind him that he'll just keep them to the end of the race. And Norson looks like has just been lapped by rivals. HDWY up next. That was the last lap, 1:11.759. Still just barely unable to beat Brenneraf's time. 1:11.743. HDWY with the slowdown. Very bad place to get a slowdown right there. Compromises you down the entire straight. And is the Mercedes behind. We'll try and take advantage of that a little bit closer. That is a Mercedes of Norson. Rivals is trying to lap Norson now. He's passed. HDWI will be next. Gap's now 12 seconds to Reflex. Reflex's last lap was a 1:16.9. Rivals' last lap was a 1:15.7 as well. 2 laps to go. Rivals on those newer mediums is making quick work of HDWI on those pits off. And Rivals a little bit into the gravel there. That breaks HDWI. About to start the final lap. Rival starts the final lap. And the pit lane starts for the sprint, making his way all the way back to P4, starting P4 on the grid in the race. He took the lead very early. Through battles with Runaround and Reflex, he's managed to hold off the 2 Ferraris and keep it all half so far. PL22. Gap now 18 seconds from Reflex arrival. And Rivals wins the Japanese Grand Prix. Reflex gets a slowdown in the final lap. We across the line for P2. That's P2, 22 seconds back. Runner up now coming around the final corner, so he's 40 seconds back, moving P3. Gabriel continuing his strong form. P4. HDWY at the moment P5, Norson P6, Dewey P7. And Stewie gets in the gravel a little bit. Get him. HDWY crosses the line. P5. Norson crosses the line for P6. Stewie was rounding the final corners. Our retirements are Mr. Mann, Hayes, and Casper. and Sunny Hayes is informing me that he would love to get banned, as he does almost every race.